All right, you know, I cannot even begin to tell you how happy I am to have found myself to this beautiful spot of the world. It's a spot that I've been wanting to come to for years and years and years, if only because this guy owes me a lobster meal, I guess, right?
We're doing a roll today, yes.
We're doing a roll. I'm going to have a lobster roll. So this is Mark Pelkey. Mark is a client of mine, and not a little bit more of a client. You and I have built up a pretty good relationship over the years, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So you're from this beautiful part. We're in Maine. Where exactly are we?
We are in Cape Elizabeth, 2 Lights.
Cape Elizabeth?
Cape Elizabeth at the famous Lobster Shack. Yes.
At the famous Lobster Shack. So if you're looking for a love shack, you know, you don't want to come here to Maine. You're going to find a Lobster Shack instead. So you grew up in this area?
I've been down in this area since 1980. Grew up in northern Maine, came to school, and been down here ever since.
And as far as a summer day, I probably couldn't have picked a better summer day.
This is pretty perfect.
Yeah. And the winter here, is the winter here pretty brutal?
Along the coast, it's not as bad, but I mean, Maine gets cold.
Does it?
And we have winter, we have seasons, but this is a beautiful day.
And needless to say, lobster's a big thing up here, right?
That's why everybody comes here.
Everybody comes here. So on a weekend, if I were to come and hang out with you at the house, are you throwing lobster on the grill, so to speak?
We'd have a dozen lobsters cooking, some beer, and some clams, steak.
And watching a Patriots game or a Red Sox game.
Yeah, Red Sox in the summertime.
You know, I write him a lot about the Boston team. Sure. Are most people up here?
66?
Are most people up here Boston fans?
Unless you're from away, like yourself.
Yeah.
So the locals are pretty much all going to follow Boston teams.
So after we have lunch here, after we have lunch at the Lobster Shack, you're going to probably be heading back to work, understandably so, and I'm going to do a little bit of sightseeing. So just give me a real brief idea as to what I should see right along this area that we're in.
Well, when we head back from here towards South Portland, you can swing right onto Shore Road and you'll see Portland Headlight.
Portland Headlight?
So that's probably one of the most picture-perfect places that you can go. When you see Maine, you'll see the picture of the headlight, and you'll get some views back into the harbor.
When you Google, like if you go on Google and type in
Order number 78, we have your biscuit.
Google like New England Lighthouse or something like that, that lighthouse is very famous. It's quite a photographed lighthouse.
I think it's the most visited lighthouse in America.
No kidding. Well, it's going to be fantastic. And the ocean here, which I'll share with you in just a little bit, is really fantastic as well. It's beautiful, just breathtaking. So we're going to enjoy our lunch and be back in a little bit, and I'll let you know how my lobster roll.
Lobster roll.
My lobster roll.
Lobster stew.
And lobster stew. All right, folks, there you have it. Lobster roll and fries, and what do we got here? We got lobster stew.
Lobster stew.
Lobster stew. Kind of like, you know, is clam a big thing up here, Mark?
Oh yeah, sure clams
it is,
are,
huh?
But
look at that. Lobster stew. That looks fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Pelkey.
You're more than welcome, Tom.
All right, so with lunch in our bellies, I thought I'd come over here and kind of show you the menu here at the Lobster Shack at 2 Lights. And you can see there, you can get everything from a lobster dinner to a fisherman's plate, a clam plate, shrimp plate, haddock plate, scallop boat, crab meat roll boat, lobster stew, onion rings, out the whole 9 yards. So I'm going to go inside and see if I can. You can even get a strawberry pie, it looks like. I'll give you a nice view of the inside of the restaurant if I can. We got the nice little lobster aprons going on here. Looks like quite the operation. And if you come on in the inside here, look at all of the wonderful artifacts that they have hanging up on the wall. This really is a treat for me to be in Maine. I've waited a long time to come up to this part of the country. So I'm going to go on and go see the lighthouse and a couple other things. You can see there's the lobster rolls. Those seem to be a popular item here at the Lobster Shack. Appropriately so. All right, let's go check out some other sites. All right, I couldn't resist on my way back out. There's this wonderful couple. Where are you folks from?
Georgia.
From Georgia. Oh, okay.
102 degrees and out here in the 70s.
And look at what you're eating here. You know, look at that. You got two of them, I understand, right?
I had 2 pound and a quarter.
2 pound and a quarter lobsters.
That's 2.5 pounds of lobster, and I'm doing quite well.
I'll be darned. All right, well, enjoy it. Thanks for letting me share that. All right. So look at before we head out, I thought I'd share the view where we've been enjoying our wonderful lunch here. Just really, really a beautiful spot. Look at that. All right, let's head out. All right, so Buddy and I found our way to a wonderful place to have some lunch, and Buddy found some playmates, and he's having a wonderful, just a wonderful time here. Trying to get him used to playing with, all types of people here. Buddy, sit. Buddy, sit. Sit. Buddy, sit. Sit. Oh, so much for that. So what a beautiful place this is. This is Maine, the Maine coastline. And we just found a great place to have some lunch. Don't know the name of it, but it sure is a popular spot from all the looks of the people here. All right, I found my way to Fort William State Park, and you're looking at Goddard Mansion. The Goddard Mansion was completed in 1858 for John Goddard to an Italianate villa design prepared by Portland architect Charles Alexander, who planned other prominent buildings in the area. It was built of native stone and was one of the first grand houses to be built along the Cape Elizabeth shore, which is where I find myself here at Fort Williams. So I'm going to give you a tour. A very short tour of Fort Williams, and there is I think the Portland Head, I think it's called Portland Head Light or something along those lines, but you can see this was probably just a very, very magnificent home in its day. So we're going to continue along down over here. It's actually a beautiful day here in Maine, and I believe this is called Cape Elizabeth. And it's just outside of Portland, Maine. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful park and a wonderful summer June afternoon. You can see there's no shortage of cars and visitors here at the park. So let's find our way down to the main attraction, which I think is the Lighthouse. It's one of the most famous lighthouses, or the most photographed lighthouses in the world, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so I found my way over to the cliff walk just opposite of the Goddard house, and you can see just how beautiful it is here. I'm going to come down and walk along over here. Be a wonderful place to have a nice picnic. Couldn't have asked for a nicer day to be experiencing the coast here in Maine, and having had a wonderful lunch of lobster. It almost reminds me of the walk along the shore and outside of Sydney by Bondi Beach. You can see some ambitious guys down here. Look like they're doing some rock climbing, interestingly enough. That's something that I never quite tried, and I don't see any ropes on these guys, interestingly enough. But anyway, come back along over here and you can see another perspective of the rock formations here. Look at that. Quite a view. Just beautiful. There's a lighthouse quite a distance out there, and I don't know if that is the famous lighthouse. I don't believe it is, but we'll find out. Alright, so continuing along the cliff walk here, I was just told that the famous lighthouse is just up around the bend, and it was commissioned in 1790 by none other than George Washington, and there you can actually see it right there, 1790, and that is the perhaps the most photographed lighthouse in all the world. We'll go and see if we can't get a closer look of it. And there it is, Portland Headlight, one of the most, if not the most, photographed lighthouses in the United States, if not the world, and it was commissioned by George Washington in 1790. So I'm sure there's quite a bit of history behind this lighthouse, and it is just a spectacular thing to look at, set against the beautiful Atlantic Ocean. So we'll go on over, and I don't think that you can actually go inside, but who knows? We'll go over and find out. Alright, if I'm not mistaken, this would be the home, I would believe, where the individual or individuals that operated the lighthouse, or still do for that matter, reside. So this is an active lighthouse. So I see a sign on the front door that says private. So I don't think that we can go inside. But there's actually a museum here. And this is the museum at Portland Headlight. So we'll go walk around. Look at this. And there is the... Look at how beautiful that is. It's easy to understand why this is one of the most photographed lighthouses in the world. Oh, well, I'm not going to be able to go inside right now, but we'll come back around. Perhaps go inside a little bit later. Although I probably could go into the museum shop. Museum shop. All the proceeds from this go to preserve the lighthouse.
Я уже сходила, но я нашла другие ближе, там где мы были у той парку.
You can see some of the beautiful photographs of the lighthouse. There's a winter scene right there. Look at how beautiful that is. Okay. What a wonderful opportunity this was to come and visit this part of the country. I've never been to New England before this past week, and it's every bit as beautiful as I imagined it would be. Look at that coastline. Alright, so as I head out from the headland, or the Portland Headlight, I see this plaque, and it says, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow often walked from Portland to visit this lighthouse. The keepers were his friends, and it is believed he sat here for inspiration for his poem, The Lighthouse. And that poem went, sail on, ye stately ships, and with your floating bridge the ocean span. Be mine to guard this light from all eclipse, be yours to bring man near unto man. So there you go. Alright, hope you enjoyed the tour of the Portland Headlight Lighthouse. Alright, so to wrap up this tour of Portland, Maine, I found my way over to the Old Port District, and you're looking at Widgery Wharf right here. And as you can see, there's no shortage of lobster traps, as one would expect. So if you're having lobster tonight for dinner, there's a very, very good chance that it came right from one of these wharves here in the port of Portland, Maine. So I'm going to just do a quick walkthrough of a couple of the other wharfs here in the Old Port District, and just kind of take a look and see what they're like. I'm sure they're very similar to other wharfs that I've been in, such as in San Francisco or Monterey or other wharfs around the world, with the exception of these. They have all of these lobster traps. So let's go and check out some of the other wharfs. Here's a guy, looks like he's fixing the lobster trap right there. How you doing? Good, thanks. Okay. All right, so continuing along, I found my way back out to Commercial Street, which is the street that runs all along the wharfs here, and you can see this gate is just covered with locks, and I guess this is where lovers, if I'm not mistaken, will come and put a lock. You can see right here, for example, here is a Mickey and Heather Forever. So look at the beautiful view right from the other side of this fence. Just absolutely beautiful. And we're going to just continue along. This is Commercial Street, and you can go out and do whale watching or deep sea fishing. This is DeMillo's Long Wharf. This is where we just passed. So we'll keep walking down and see if we can't find a wharf with a little bit more gift shops and other activities going on. Alright, so as I found out, the most of the commercial, if not all the commercial stores and restaurants are right along, appropriately so, Commercial Street here in Portland, Maine. And the wharfs are where you'll just go down and jump on a cruise or a fishing boat or something along those lines. So with all that in mind, I'm going to wrap up this very short but nice visit to Portland, Maine, and head on up. And next stop is going to be north of the border, where I'm going to be going to Quebec, and that is a destination that I've been really looking forward to seeing, Quebec and then Ontario. So hope you enjoyed this quick visit to Portland, Maine.